Hi and welcome to the Theme 10, Learning Across Communities. We'll be talking about 3 articles that describe research into information sharing. These 3 articles ground your work in 3 different kinds of information sharing that have both their own and common issues. We will in the next 4 slides cover the introduction to information sharing, with content of the articles and the common issues addressed by the papers. We'll end with a summary of the theme, then prepare for the discussion on Friday. Information sharing is a central part of communities. The sharing of information from expert to novice not only improves the service but can also bring the participants in the community closer to each other. Asynchronous on and offline communities encounter issues of information sharing because of the lack of presence of either listener or sharer. These issues are further complicated in voluntarism, where people have no other purpose than altruism in helping their peers. The state of information sharing we consider as being dependent on, firstly, the accessibility of information from the perspective of the recipient, secondly, the quality of the shared information, and finally, the amount of information loss inherent in the existing information sharing infrastructure. Wang et al. Describe an observational study of collaboration in community gardens. They touch upon the issues of a community that relies on asynchronous communication, although in situation, information sharing is a central part of the gardening experience. Wang et al. Note how the issue of asynchronous communication causes the members to have a low sense of awareness of other community members' activities and tools. Couture et al. Present their take on an approach for sharing and augmenting information schemas between individuals. They describe the enhancements to the Clipper interface and resulting effect on the quality of aggregated information. Waggery et al. Described their analysis of 10 do-it-yourself tutorials. They identify several issues in the study do-it-yourself guides, including the quality of the guides, herein the use of visual and textual documentation of the work. Other issues are lack of preparatory information and poor use of illustrations. Waggery et al. Recommend the use of visual illustrations as an integrated part of the guides and a thorough preparation guide, so that the user has gathered all the materials and tools required to complete the tutorial. They argue that designers should function as mediators or translators between author and audience to improve the current ecology of learning.
In the articles, the sharing of information consists primarily of the sharing of competences, that is, the passing on of information and competences from expert users to novices, as well as the improvement of the information supplied by novices, such as in the Clipper interface. In the garden community described by Wang et al., information on the bulletin boards quickly expires. In addition, it's hard for members to react on the board, supporting only one-way centralized communication from the community board to other members. Quality synchronous information sharing only takes place in the garden between members active in their garden beds. Couture et al. Describe the issue of information loss occurring after the information forwarding by the users in the work to solve a problem, such as looking for a new camera. Couture et al. Argue for the advantage of preserving the information for later use by other users. Furthermore, the possibilities of aggregation of information to improve upon these schemas is useful to the community. This is alike to the information sharing in Wang et al.'s community gardens, where few experienced members help and provide advice to novices in the community. Information is hereby shared and aggregated via several other members who have experience within some topic. In the article by Waggery et al., presentation of information is crucial. The basic principles of do-it-yourself fall apart when the user is not able to complete the guide on his own and is required to step back from the situation and ask and search for help in order to complete the project. By providing guides of sufficient quality, supported through both textual and visual documentation, the user has the ability to solve their issues unassisted. For the gardeners, the incentive to share knowledge is to improve their mutual relationships as a community. The Clipper users constitute an indirect community sustained through individual schema acquisition and the incremental improvement on the common knowledge. What is relevant are past uses and the quality of the currently available knowledge. In do-it-yourself, people share content for no direct personal benefit, while others only consume the content. The resulting community is thus constituted by skewed relationships. We believe that Waggery et al.'s concept of an ecology of learning is useful with respect to the topic in general. In the do-it-yourself community, informational resources such as tutorials and their readers are connected in an ecology of learning that supports a cumulative development of skills. In Wang et al.'s article, an ecology of learning is most directly seen in the synchronous interaction between gardeners when they meet face-to-face. The message boards used in the garden could perhaps better be qualified as part of an ecology of information sharing, as opposed to learning. In Clipper, the information forwarding performed by individuals contributes to the accumulation of knowledge, effectively making the participants into members of an ecology of learning in the given domain. When speaking about learning across communities, several issues arise, whether we are talking about offline activities such as gardening, or activities such as online information forwarding, or something in between, which has been exemplified here through do-it-yourself tutorials. The issues relate to the quality of information sharing and how to retain the competences and knowledge of participating individuals. We believe that a relevant topic related to this is legitimate peripheral participation, as it is for instance described by Bryant et al. The sharing of information is tightly coupled with the relationship between expert and novices in a community, and novices should be taken into account when designing for information sharing in an infrastructure. We find ecologies of infrastructures, as described by Starr and Rohleder, to be another relevant topic. In all three articles, we've seen ecologies of learning and information aggregation, and the perspective of infrastructures can contribute to a discussion on related aspects of the underlying system of technologies, people, and activities.
For the discussion on Friday, we will draw upon insights from the themes of infrastructure and volunteerism, as well as the Becoming a Wikipedian article from week 1.